Hi, my name is Mac of Bound for Nowhere. My husband Owen and I have been traveling full-time for the last 9 years and some change as of April 2025. We're filmmakers and photographers, and that is kind of what we do out here, so to speak. When we first got on the road back in 2016, we were traveling in a Volkswagen van, and people were like, oh, like you're doing van life. And we're like, yeah, we're just driving around. And then when we switched into our first truck, people were like, oh, how was the transition into overlanding? I was like, I don't know if you guys know, it's actually the same thing. It's just a matter of what vehicle we were in. So our truck isn't just a truck. We live out of it, and we also do all of our work out of it. A lot of the previous vehicles that we had were pretty shy on power specifically. And so it just was feeling really important for us to have an equally comfortable home, but also an equally comfortable office. What I'm most proud of about it is I just see a culmination of so many experiences like represented in a single object. But also in the cab, it's decorated with all these patches. That's all the places that we've ever been. It just is steeped in a lot of memories that we didn't necessarily make in this vehicle, but in our time on the road. And in the camper, there's artifacts that we've collected from our travels all over the world. There's ferry tickets, there's gifts that have been given to us by like native artists in Canada and awards that we've won. And I don't know, it's just so cool to see this like weird fledgling idea that we had 9 years ago. And for a lot of people to have said that we were crazy for doing this and to see what it's resulted in just makes me really proud that we decided that we wanted to like pursue our own passion and our own way in life. And this is kind of like the evidence of all of those decisions. It's funny because like the types of adventures that we go on obviously depends day to day. Day to day, we're just kind of out there in the world, living and doing our work. But we're always trying to use our vehicle as a means of getting us to other types of adventures where we like to go on foot, so to speak, further and do other things. So we're always looking for backpacking trips, pack rafting, surfing, regular hiking, fishing. The problem is like we have too many outdoor hobbies, but the amazing thing is that truck can get us to every single one of those things.
We're bound for nowhere, and we're super excited to give you the walk around of our home on wheels. Up at the front, we've got an ADD bumper with an integrated Baja Designs light strip and some ditch lights. We also have a come-up winch integrated in it as well.
We were really stoked with this new truck to get a ton of parking awareness sensors, which is great. The truck is big. And we were able to integrate all of those sensors despite the fact that that part of the bumper was removed into the aftermarket bumper here up front. We have Evo Course wheels, which we really love. They're very strong.
Yeah, and they're wrapped in Toyo RTs, and the suspension of the truck has all been redone. It's Dobinson's basically everywhere except for the upper control arms, which we have some Icon upper control arms for.
Before we move into the cab, I want to draw your attention to the Sherpa rack that we have over the roof. It's really great. It closes our cab over gap, but it's also a great place for storing additional gear, which sometimes is extra fuel, actually, mostly. So here in the cab, we are pretty stoked. This is the first time we've ever had leather seats, and it's kind of a really nice thing. And they're heated, also something I had personally never had before. But we have a huge screen, which is great for navigation. We have completely removed our back seats because it is now a huge storage box, which we use for carrying extra recovery gear in addition to all of our camera equipment. We're making our work on the road. And probably the most obvious of the features in our cab is all of the patches on the roof. It's nearly completely covered now, but those are patches that kind of document our travels. They are all places that we have been to in our 9 years on the road. Excellent. Moving right along. Here at the beginning of the flatbed, we have a 20-gallon water tank that's kind of in the middle, centered. We have a spigot here so we can use that water. Great for cleaning gear. In this compartment here, we have 20 pounds of propane. We have all of our accessories inside of the camper run on propane, and then we also have the ability to cook outside because we have an additional stove and a little table that we can set up here to cook outside on nice summer nights. Okay, our wheel wells are made up of storage bins. Storage is king when you live on the road. This front one is home to our air compressor and all of our air compressor accessories for airing up, airing down. We have the step and the door to get into our home. And then in this rear compartment is all of our camping gear, including that stove that I mentioned. And then this is all downlighting that we have the ability to turn on either in the camper or from our phone. So we can get all sorts of lighting out here. We come into camp after dark, really handy for that. And then up here, we have a really huge awning, which is so lovely for hot days in the desert, much like the one that we're having today.
At the back of the truck, we've got this rack that goes on the full wheel camper, and on it we've got Blue Ridge Overland gear trash bags. So we've got one that we use for trash and one that we use for recycling. We also have 2 Max Tracks to help get us out of sand and mud and any kind of sticky situation like that. And then our favorite feature of the Norweld flatbed is the huge tray that pulls out right here, where we store camera gear, extra gas bags,
solar panel, table, floor mat, all sorts of really great stuff.
I can't even remember all.
It's like our garage.
Yeah.
This is the home to the rest of our sensors, parking sensors, and then our backup camera is up underneath the flatbed, so we still have full visibility. Here at the utility side of the camper, we have solar input for any auxiliary solar panels, more downlighting. We have a shower plug here so we can shower, which we do a lot actually in the summer outside. We have exhaust for refrigerator, our heater, our hot water heater, on demand, might I add. Our water outlet, we have an auxiliary shore power plug up there. This is our water fill port for putting water into the camper, gas fill, obviously. And then we have 2 more of those wheel well storage bins. The one in the back is all of our tools. And then the one up here closer to the cab is home to all of our water filtration equipment so we can fill up our tank. This is my favorite and latest mod that I did have to talk Owen into, and it is smiley face valve stem covers that I bought down in Mexico. I love them so much. They're so cute. I was just like, you know what? If your valve stem covers can make you smile, I think you should have those. Welcome to the interior of our humble abode. So facing the front of the truck, so the cab is this way. This is the cab over part. This is our bed. We have our incredible HEST comforter, pillows, and the mattress, of course. In addition, some other features that we have going on up here, we have 1 of 2 fans that are great for circulating air in the space. People always ask what this bar is. It's for pushing the top up just when we get to camp, and then it's out of the way and dealt with. And then the canvas is made up of 3 parts. We have this quilted portion that is the insulation layer. And then there is a clear film that goes over the screen. Then we have the screen and the exterior, and it's fully weather resistant. And people are always really curious if it can handle wind. We have ridden out some insane windstorms, and it's always been perfect. One of our favorite features of the interior of a flatbed 4-wheel camper is that the under portion of our bed is all storage. It's a pretty incredible amount. This is where we keep all of our clothes, a bunch of work equipment, games, important things like Catan, you know, the essentials. Then coming forward, so this is the passenger side of the truck, the side of the camper that we get into. This first cabinet that's right here next to the bed is home to all of our lithium batteries and kind of the heart of our power system. And then we have our spice cabinet, and below that is our cat's litter box. You know, just a couple more essentials. And then on the front of the cabinet with the batteries in it is the control panel for our entire electrical system. It allows us to monitor all of our solar input, our charge coming from the alternator, all of those kinds of things. And also allows us to turn on our Starlink, all of our lights and things like that. Welcome to the back of the camper. All we have done is a 180. So this is facing the back of the truck. One of my favorite features is the massive back window. It's always great to have a little bit of a view when we're working. This is a really cool space. It doesn't look like much, but it does a ton of different things. In addition to being a dinette, it is also our office. Picture that. And then it also becomes a bed. So this fully converts into a single bed, so we're able to have a guest. Underneath each one of these seats is storage that goes all the way to the bottom of the camper. One of them can hold more than we once held in a 12 cubic foot Yakima box. It holds even more than that, which is amazing. Underneath the floor here, we have additional storage. We keep all of our shoes in there. And aside from that, I think that's all we have going on back here. But I love how versatile this space is. I think that because everything in this camper has its own space, like this can be the office, that is the kitchen, that is the bed, all the segmentation like that makes it a very functional space for two people, and two people to be able to do more than one thing at a time, which was something that we had issues with in our previous rig. So it just feels like a much more spacious environment to have a little bit more space like that. Thank you so much. We hope that you enjoyed the tour of our little home on wheels. We are building an additional second rig, which is an imported Japanese Toyota Hilux. It's diesel. It's got a Super Pacific camper on it and a really cool little build out on the interior. We're not entirely sure what we have planned for that vehicle yet. We're tossing around international plans for one of them. I'm not sure ultimately which one it will be. There's something so intimate about being able to explore a place with your own vehicle because it gives you the ultimate autonomy and freedom to explore what you want to see when you want to see it. But yeah, we're just really looking forward to the idea of having a vehicle stationed on another continent so we can go to and from and see a new part of the world. So I think at the core of what we're doing, I hope that people see our work and feel inspired to go out and fall in love with the world, because those are going to be the people that come back and then vote for it and care for it and want to protect it and see it perpetuated for many generations after us. And just not only that, but you also as a human can take so many lessons from traveling that can be applied to our lives at large.